everybody.
Oh, no, we're laughing again. We weren't supposed to laugh like this.
I'm David Yak here,
And I'm Susan Keller Horn.
and you're listening or watching Yak About Film. Anyway, we should tell everybody we laugh because we had several funny interviews.
Yes, we did.
And when you think about them, it brings back all the humor.
But the interviews weren't just funny; they were funny because everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Exactly.
Because that is our life today.
Right, talk about tech problems.
But we won't have them during the festival.
That's right. That's right. So come to the festival.
We're doing them now.
Right. So we're asked, in fact, we were just asked about our awards.
Yes.
Why we give out awards, what's the difference between the jury awards and the audience awards. And in fact, we're giving out a few special awards.
Yes, we are.
So we should sort of fill the audience in on that.
So we have a jury, and the jury is comprised of various industry professionals and from all different areas, from directors of photography to full directors, commercial directors, music directors, all different kinds of professionals in the industry. And they watch all the films that we nominate.
450.
No, they did not watch 450. That was you and me. No, we didn't give them 450 films to watch, but we gave them a lot of films, lots of hours of films to watch and decide which were the best films of our festival. So we have awards, jury awards for the best documentary feature, the best narrative feature, the best dramatic short, the best documentary short. We have Vero Visions that gets a jury award, and that's for the best local filmmaker. And then we have student shorts, the Next Up Student Shorts Award.
And of course, we have comedy shorts.
Yeah, we do. We have comedy shorts, and within the Next Up Student Shorts, we have a documentary category as well as a narrative category, and we show all of those at once. But we have some incredible films. The jury had a really tough time deciding when we were going through the scoring and how they were figuring out what they liked. It was close. So it was pretty impressive, actually, how great the films are that we have.
Yeah, I think we have one of the best lineups of films that we've had in years.
Oh, it's incredible.
We're having a great opening film that we're celebrating a local artist. Would you like to take it from here?
We are introducing you to Xaque Gruber. He is on our board of directors. He is a local artist. He's also a filmmaker, and this is his first feature-length film, Sallywood, and we are so excited to share it with our audience. You are going to be amazed, and we know tons and tons of people want to go to this, so we've made 3 showings of it. It will be on Thursday of the festival at 4:30 p.m. It will be
at the Majestic
Theater. It'll be on Friday of the festival at 10 a.m. at the Majestic Theater. And then on Sunday at the Theater Guild, the main stage, at 2:30 p.m., I believe is the time.
Right.
Somewhere around there. Look at our online schedule. It'll definitely tell you the times. But now we have Xaque here with us to tell us all about his film, all about the exciting guests that he's bringing. And Xaque, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, both of you, so much. What a fun thing to be here with you.
So tell us a little bit about your film.
Without giving it away.
Yeah, don't give the story away. Well, wait, you got to tell some of the story.
Right.
Well, sure. Well, okay, so Sallywood is autobiographical. It is called Sallywood because it's about my true adventures moving from my former life living in New England to Hollywood, California, where I ultimately and quickly became Sally Kirkland's personal assistant. Sally Kirkland was a famous actress, is a famous actress, and a favorite actress of mine growing up. And I always had this fantasy in my head of hopefully meeting her someday. You know, I thought it could happen. I didn't know how it would happen. I just kept wondering, what would it be like to be Sally Kirkland's friend? What would it be like to meet her? I wonder what her life is like day to day. Boy, did I find out. And I'm still finding out. But yeah, so shortly after I moved to Los Angeles, this was actually in 2002, although the movie takes place now. In my true life, it happened in 2002, and I met her shortly after moving out there. She hired me on the spot to be her assistant, and her life was not at all what I thought it would be. Her life was, we have this idea of a movie star life as just being glamorous, living in mansions with butlers and chandeliers everywhere. But it was not like that at all. Her apartment was much like mine. And, we kind of glamorize and fantasize what famous people's lives are like they must just be dripping in glamour and fun and riches, and hers was not at all. So it's really a movie about friendship and this multi-generational friendship of this young writer. I went to Hollywood to work as a writer, for television and film, which I did, and this much older actress. So in the film, the actor who plays me, played by Tyler Steelman, is, like mid-20s, and she's an actress maybe, 80-ish. So there's a huge age difference, but it's a story about friendship, and it's such a funny, heartwarming film. It's for adults. It's not really for children because there's some, talk about sex and things, but you don't see it. Yeah.
Well, we can't have that in our festival.
Yeah, no sex.
Yeah. It's for adults, so leave the kids at home. You could bring the high schoolers, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was such a surreal ride to make this movie, because it's a movie of exactly what happened with me with Sally Kirkland, and she's playing herself in the lead role. So it's the first movie. I've done my research on this, and I'd love to be proven wrong if it's true, but it's the first movie I think ever made where the lead actress plays herself.
Oh, wow.
It's been done where the lead actor has played himself, like being John Malkovich, and there have been a few others, but not a female. And so she does a phenomenal job playing herself.
It helps to be yourself.
It was kind of, like I said, surreal to direct these actors to say the lines exactly the same lines that I said with her decades prior, and then rehearse them and audition people with those scenes and those exact lines. I just wrote it verbatim as it happened. And I have a very good memory, so I remembered it exactly as it happened, and I wrote her warts and all. I didn't write Sally Kirkland and polished it over and made it smooth. I wrote her exactly as she is, and when I handed her the script in the first place, I was hoping she'd react well to it, and she called me after. She said, "Look, give me the weekend to read this." I said, "Okay." So after the weekend was over, she called me and she said, "Well, you've written me as the world's biggest narcissist, and I can't wait to play myself that way." And I said, "Oh, so you like it?" And she said, "Oh, yes." It's just so funny because I really wasn't sure. When the truth can hurt. So when you read the truth about yourself, I wasn't sure how she might react, but she really reacted well and was on board 100%. She actually memorized all her lines months before we were filming.
Oh, wow.
And it's called being off book in the theater and movie world. Right. And so she was off book months before we were filming. We were auditioning other roles, and she had to be in some of the auditions, and she knew the whole movie, just every single line. Well, she's a pro. So, it's a certain level of actor that comes to set fully prepared, and that's what I want to work with. And honestly, I'm so fortunate. I know this is a long answer to your question, but I'm so fortunate to have the actors that I have in this film, because it is my first feature as a director. And prior to this, I had been working with local Vero Beach actors, which are wonderful, by the way. But, when you're working with Oscar-nominated actors or Oscar-winning actors, it's a whole other level, and it was a joy and a thrill as each of these famous actors came aboard my film, and I have quite a few. And
tell us about
and they're
them.
playing like my mother, and they're playing me, and they're playing my father, and they're playing people from my life, because this is, as I said, autobiographical.
So, Xaque, What's it like having somebody play you? Like Tyler Steelman, you know, I think I've said this to you many times before. I love this guy. I thought he was just great. How did it feel having somebody play you?
Well, first of all, I had to audition tons and tons of young actors. Originally, the producer who was involved in the film wanted me to play me, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted a young actor to play me, um, because Sally playing herself felt like enough for me, and for me to be the writer and director was enough for me. So I wanted to have an actor step into that role. The great thing about actors is they bring their own world to a role. So the way it's written on the page is all they know, and then they bring all their own stuff. So he hadn't even met me. He had read the scenes, and then he came in for the audition. And frankly, he was like auditioner number 129.
Oh,
I mean, we
wow.
had seen a lot of young actors for this role, and some were phenomenal, but just not right for certain reasons. Um, and and of course, many were just not right. So, and then he comes along and blew me away right from the get-go. I had never heard of him. I had not seen him. He came as a referral of one of my of a friend of my producer, and so he knocked it out of the park at the audition. And he created Xaque, me. He created this character from the script. He hadn't studied me. It's not like he researched me or anything. And we didn't even have time for rehearsals. We really jumped right into filming, which is, some people would say that's insane, because you should rehearse with your actors first. But in a way, not rehearsing made it more fresh and spontaneous and wild. So, and I trusted them because I chose them all, like I chose these people. So I knew that they would come professional, prepared, and willing to just play ball with each other. And I said, let's just see what happens and let the sparks fly. We didn't have time for auditions. We were up against it. So we just started filming, and I have heard from certain people that he did a really great job playing me.
He really he
He
got
really
you.
did.
He really totally got you.
And
Um,
I guess he got me. He got the character. And so it's weird because you're writing about yourself, um, and you know yourself. So to talk about Xaque, okay, who is me, I'm talking about the character Xaque. Xaque is a very innocent character in this film. He's sort of a bookworm. He's a virgin. He doesn't know much about sex. He doesn't know much about I wrote him to be very sheltered from Maine. It's weird to say I wrote him because it's about me, but Maine is a very forested state. It's 90% forest, and it's very quiet. The whole state is one area code. So it's to grow up there, you would be growing up in a sort of isolated, quiet world, and then you go to Hollywood, and his roommate, the first roommate, Tom, has just got out of jail in the film when we meet him. And he's been to jail many times, and he's hanging out with porn stars and or wannabe porn stars, and which LA is crawling with. So it's out of his comfort zone in every way, and then along comes Sally and knocks him even further out of his comfort zone, and it's really a whole new vocabulary, and it's like moving to a foreign country. It's hard to believe Maine and Los Angeles are even part of the same country because they feel like two different planets.
so actually, I'm
Um,
going to interrupt you here because
mhm.
I wanted to know, how did your mom react to Jennifer Tilly playing her?
Okay. So again, Jennifer Tilly didn't know my mother. She didn't study my mother. She just had a script with this character named Joanne and played it how she would play it. Jennifer Tilly brings with her to a role all of her Jennifer Tilly stuff. So she's very comedic, and she has that very specific voice, speaking voice, and she has a very funny sense of comic timing, and I did make the character with layers, so she's not just like silly. And everything Jennifer Tilly says in the movie, pretty much my mother did say at some point.
I would believe that. I love your mom.
And when my mother, to answer your question, when my mother finally saw it, she said, "This isn't how I behave. This isn't accurate for me. The whole world's going to look at this and think I'm a lunatic. They're going to think I'm a religious fanatic. They're going to think I'm a crazy person." And I said, "Well, Mom, she is an actress who's bringing her own sense of view to the role. We filmed it in Los Angeles. My mother, in the meantime, is on the East Coast. I did put Jennifer Tilly on the phone with my mother during a break. And my mom, I was like, Mom, I want you to meet somebody. And I gave the phone. I even have photos of this. And I gave the phone to Jennifer Tilly in between takes. And she goes, hello. Oh, hello. It was like a clashing of my world, the clash of the titans. And honestly, Jennifer Tilly brings a lot of joy and laughter to the film. Her character has only a few moments that are dramatic, but most of her lines and most of her character beats are funny and comic relief. And so, look, Mom's going to be at the film festival, at least at one of these screenings. And so she's going to be confronted with this question. And my mother does not hold back.
No.
So she's just
She
No,
doesn't.
she does not.
no. So I'm a little scared, actually. I don't
I
know
think you should
quite
be.
what's going to happen here. You know, we'll see.
Uh,
We'll see.
Well, Zach, thank you so much for joining us here on our podcast. We have loved talking to you about your film here. Everyone is super excited about seeing it, and we can't wait to share it with the Vero Beach Film Festival audience.
And the nice thing is we get to see him on a regular basis.
We do. But you know what else is really cool? But we didn't talk to Zach about, but we should mention here is that Sally Kirkland and Tyler Steelman will be here at the film festival.
Yes.
And they are going to be at all the Q&As.
And by the way, they're not the only ones. My producer, Stephen Wolf, will be here from LA.
Oh, that's awesome.
Angeline Rose Troy, who plays Pound Cake, the wannabe porn star, is coming.
Oh, awesome. She's a great character.
Doris Davis, who plays my new boss's sixth wife, is coming. And my cinematographer, I just got off the phone with him. I think he's coming too. So I think it's going to be a nice gang. And then, of course, their spouses and friends and whatever family.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Listen, we're going to have a full house all through the weekend.
That is so cool.
It's going to be really fun.
We need to tell everybody, though.
Hollywood descends on Vero.
I know, but we need to share with everybody that Sally Kirkland will not only just be at all of those events and all the other people who are in this film at all those at all Zach's filmings, but they're going to be at our Subaru Dyer
Filmmakers welcome gala.
Filmmakers welcome ball, gala, whatever we're calling it these days. Anyway, gala, whatever. It's a party, and you got to come. That will be taking place Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. at the Subaru.
The 11th of April.
Yeah, and it's it sounds weird that we're having this in a dealership. But it's a brand new showroom.
State of the art.
It looks like a Crystal Palace.
It is. It has all these. It's got all these beautiful scenes of Vero Beach, like the most incredible photography all around. They're taking the cars out. We're making the party amazing. So you need to show up at the Subaru Dyer dealership on Thursday.
Or you could say Dyer Subaru.
Dyer Subaru's dealership. I could do that. On Thursday at 7:30 during the festival. And we will be giving Sally Kirkland an award. David, tell us about that award.
It's a Lifetime Achievement Award for her contribution to cinema. And I have to tell you, I've known her most of my life, but that really makes me.
You've known of her. We haven't met her yet.
We haven't met her. I've known of her. Well, I feel like I've known her. I've seen the film.
It's true. We've seen the film, and yes, it's true.
So we're so looking forward to it. It's something that makes the festival even more special. So if you haven't gotten your passes yet, go get them at vbfilmfest.org. And we hope to see you at the movies.
We hope to see you at the movies.
Bye now.
See you at the
Bye.
movies, everybody.
See you at the movies.